హలో శేఖర్ సార్.
చెప్పండి
సార్ రెడీ. అది సార్ కూడా వచ్చారు, వీసీ గారు కూడా
వచ్చారా సార్?
వచ్చారు.
ఓకే, ఒకసారి అక్కడ సార్ ఓకే సార్ క్యామ్ ఆన్ అయినట్లేదు కదా, వెబ్ క్యామ్.
మనం ఆన్ చేయాలి, అందరిది ఆన్ చేయాలంటే వాళ్ళు ఆన్ చేసుకుని సరిపోతుంది. అందరూ ఓపెన్ చేసి ఉంటుంది, అందరికి కాదు. వీడియో సార్, శేఖర్ సార్, ఈసీ గారు. ఓకే, హలో అమర్ సార్. అమర్ సార్,
yes Seetal.
సార్ స్విచ్ ఆన్ యువర్ వీడియో సార్. వీడియో
సీతాలో స్టార్ట్ చేసామా? వీసీ గారు వచ్చేసారు, ఇంకా రిజిస్ట్రార్ గారు ఉన్నారు, ప్రిన్సిపల్ గారు కూడా ఉన్నారు.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ, నైస్. ఓకే సార్. Is it audible, sir? Shaker, sir. Shaker, sir. Okay.
Yes.
Done.
Yes.
Done. Good morning, all of you. Let us start with a prayer song, that is Krishna University song. Song page.
प्रणति कृष्णा विश्वविद्यालयम सकल साहित्यगण सम्मिलितमा अद्भुत शास्त्रीय ज्ञानकाचारमा सृजन शोधन विषय भाण्डारमा प्रणति कृष्णा विश्वविद्यालय सकल साहित्यगण सम्मिलितमा अतुलित शास्त्रीय ज्ञानकाचारमा सृजन शोधन विषय भाण्डारमा विश्वनाथ कविताचरि कविराजु निवेदन भावभवन अक्किनेनि यजमुखीनि किजरायुनि क्रीड वेंकटि नंदन परिणति पट्टाभि मुक्तूरि कोपल्लेल सेवनिरति इंद्रनि कुंचन दिष्टिन జడముల దిక్కకెయరాముని ప్రతిభను జగచ్చిత్తి ధన్వంతరి నోరి వారి అర్థవాదు వేణూరి చారాగి వెలుగు కొండపల్లి బొమ్మ రూపు పెడన కలంకారి తీరు ఇతని రంగపు దిట్ట జయ విజయవాడ ప్రతిభ నీ సొగసులే కదా నీ ఆహార్యమే జలతరంగిణి వేణుగాన మాధుర్యం కృష్ణ నిత్యలో వెలసిన రూపలావణ్య సగలు కృష్ణ కాంతులం విరియు హరివిల్లుల జ్ఞాన జగలు కృష్ణ గాలితో కూడిన అనుభూతుల పరిమళాలు కృష్ణ కోవలందు వెలయు జీవన గీతాసారము అంతవరయ అన్వేషణ నిరతము కొనసాగింది వాడ వాడ సాగించుము నీయ సోవిభవము వాడ వాడ సాగించుము.
Thank you. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. I'm extremely honored and feel privileged to have play అవుతుంది. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. I'm extremely honored and feel privileged to have given the opportunity to address everyone on this very special occasion. I am K. Sitalu, an assistant professor at the Chemistry Department of Krishna University, and I am the convener for today's one-day's international webinar on quality and safety of phytochemicals in finished products, exogenous components in botanical dietary supplements. It is with great pleasure that I welcome everyone present here, including our chief patron, Professor K.B. Chandrasekhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Krishna University. Our patrons, Professor Sushandra Darapareddy, Principal, University College of Arts and Science, Krishna University. Professor Y.K. Sundarkrishna, Registrar, Krishna University. Our Organizing Secretary, Dr. D. Ramashekar Reddy, Head Department of Chemistry, Krishna University. And most importantly, our resource person for today, Dr. Amarji Chittiboyna, Principal Scientist and Assistant Director, National Center for Natural Product Chemistry, University of Mississippi, United States of America, my faculty friends from our department, and all the beloved students and research scholars. Very good morning to all of you. And I was especially thankful to Dr. Chittiboyna when we approached him with invitation and requested him to be part of the event as a resource person. Dr. Chittiboyna did not hesitate at all and instantly agreed to be part of the program. Thank you, sir, for agreeing to be a part of your webinar. Please take it away. Apart from this, he is a great human being and renders selfless services to the student community. He is working towards connecting young minds to strive towards success and achievement, and I am proud to say that he is a native of Machilipatnam. Without further ado, let us start our webinar with greetings from today's organizing secretary, Dr. D. Ramashekar Reddy, Head Department of Chemistry, Krishna University.
Okay. Thank you, Sitalu. Thanks for your nice starting of this webinar. So, dear all participants, good morning to you all. On behalf of Honorable Vice Chancellor and on behalf of Registrar of Krishna University and on behalf of Department of Chemistry, a warm welcome to you all for the chemistry webinar series. The first international webinar series is planned on quality and safety of phytochemicals in finished products, exogenous components in botanical dietary supplements. Generally, nowadays, dietary supplements is the buzzword in present scenario, especially in this pandemic situation of COVID-19. This seminar mainly focused on phytochemicals and botanicals and their finished products. How do they prepare and how do see their efficacy and the quality and the safety of finished products. As our major participants are morely, students and research scholars of different faculties, I hope and I wish this webinar will certainly give well knowledge and in the aspects of technology to the participants as a take-home gift. In this context, already we have received more than 600 participants. Approximately more than 100 participants are joined in this group, and as well as more than 100 joined in the YouTube link. So most of the almost more than 600 students were participated. Already registered. So hope everybody is joining there in the YouTube, because since we are having a minimum number of we can able to accommodate here. So in this context, I am very glad to share with you all that we are now fortunate to have an eminent scholar, a researcher who had decades of experience, especially in the field of natural products. A warm welcome to Dr. Amar G. Chittiboyna, who has accepted our invitation whenever we approach him for his generous support to the Department of Chemistry. We are very much proud of him, as well as because he is being a Krishna district as well as a Machilipatnam, so which is native of Machilipatnam. It gives us we are requesting him for his cooperation, maybe needed for in future for the Department of Chemistry also. So, sir, a warm welcome to you also, especially from the Department of Chemistry. Then now I request the organizers, please go ahead for the next proceedings and the inviting of the our patrons of this seminar.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy sir, for starting off today with such encouraging words. Now I request Professor Surchandra Reddy, Principal, University College of Arts and Science, Krishna University, to address us all. Sir, today's Sir Surchandra sir, I wish you very happy birthday to you. ఇలాంటి పుట్టినరోజులు మరెన్నో జరుపుకోవాలని కోరుకుంటూ కెమిస్ట్రీ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ తరఫున మీరు కంటిన్యూ చేయాల్సింది కోరుతున్నాను.
Thank you, Sitalu. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor K.B. Chandrasekhar Garu, respected Registrar, Professor Y.K. Sundarkrishna Garu, and the webinar, the Director, Head Department of Chemistry, Dr. Ramashekar Reddy Garu, and Sitalu, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, and delegates, and particularly the resource person, Dr. Amarji. Very good morning to all of you. I'm indeed happy to associate myself with international webinar titled Quality and Safety of Psychochemicals in Finished Products, Exogenous Components in Botanical Dietary Supplements. really happy the way they're organizing the international webinar. I think based on the directions of Honorable Vice Chancellor K.B. Chandrasekhar Garu, they are conducting a series of webinars for the last 1 month. I think due to a pandemic, we are organizing this sort of academic activities on virtual mode. I think this is 16th or 17th webinar in the series, and first international webinar. I congratulate the Department of the Chemistry for organizing the international webinar. And as far as a resource person is concerned, I am very, very happy, extremely happy. Dr. Amar Chittiboyna, the principal scientist and assistant director of National Center for Natural Products Research, University of Mississippi, United States of America. Sitalu told me about Amarji. I'm extremely happy, really happy for his consent and associate with us in today's the international webinar. So I'm sure that the outcome of the seminar will be useful not only to the students and other participants, and it is really useful to the faculty members and the research scholars also. I don't want to take much of your time. We are all eager to hear from Amarji. So I wish that a seminar shall be a grand success. Thank you one and all for the opportunity given to me. Thank you one and all.
Sir, please check echo is.
Right. Thank you for your kind remarks, sir. Now I request Professor Waki Sundar Krishna, Registrar Krishna University, to address the gathering.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Garu, Professor K.B. Chandrasekhar Garu, and respected Principal, University College of Arts and Science, Surachandra Rao Garu, and Director of this seminar, and Head of the Department of Chemistry, Dr. Ramsekhar Reddy Garu, and Coordinator of this seminar, Sital Garu, and our delegate and today's speaker, Amjit Chittiboyna, principal scientist from USA, and delegates of this webinar. Good morning to you all. So, as Surachandra said, so our Honorable Vice Chancellor is encouraging us to organize different seminars on diversified fields to have a good, to transfer good knowledge to not only for the students and also faculty members as well as delegates from throughout India and international level also. So thank you very much, sir, for your encouragement. And coming to Department of Chemistry, I heartily congratulate for organizing international webinar. So my this credit goes to Ramsekhar Reddy Garu, who is encouraging this type of things. Thank you, sir, for your encouragement. So in my point of view, so everybody have a good wealth. So what is a good wealth is our health. Health is good wealth. So not our money or something or different positions. So good health. So everybody will take care of their health, even though sometimes even we take care. So everybody will affected by something else. So we take precautionary measures over and above. If you are affected, so the best way is go for treatment using natural products or this phytochemicals. Also, I think is the best one compared to uh, these medicines. So this particular seminar on quality and safety of phytochemicals in finished products, exogenous components in botanical dietary supplements, really, I feel, will reach its goal to transfer the good concepts and good ideas to all the delegates and in turn for all other people also. So you can think the very best. I heard one senior scientist. He said the best medicine for corona. This type of things will come and it will going on. One day it will not stop. Not only corona, other diseases. One best product he said is a curd. So the habit of curd in our food is really helps for improving immunity as well as reducing other side effects also. So, and other products I can say in usual myself, I stopped using allopathy and most of the things we are using natural products because less side effects and good health and improves our things. So one is I can say soap nuts. So soap nuts is people nowadays they are not using, but if you really see, so it helpful lot in skin diseases and other things. So the best medicine. Okay, like that you can go on talk several things. So in our culture, Indian culture, so we are actually our culture is mixed with using of natural products in our day-to-day life, so that most of the diseases can be prevented. So like that, this particular webinar definitely gives good knowledge to the people, and I feel once again I'll appreciate Department of Chemistry for organizing this webinar. So thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. With these few words, I sign off from this webinar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your kind talk. May I please request Professor K.B. Chandrasekhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Krishna University, our Chief Patron, to give his inaugural remarks.
The Registrar of the University, the Professor Y.K. Krishna, the Professor D. Surachandra Rao, the Principal, the University College of Arts and Science, the Organizing Secretary, Dr. D. Ramshekhar Reddy. So today's the eminent speaker, Dr. Amar G. Chittaboyina, the Principal Scientist and Assistant Director of the National Center for Natural Products Research, the University of Mississippi, USA. So other faculty members of the chemistry department and my dear the participants. Good morning to everybody. So today the Department of Chemistry so organizing a national international level the webinar and safety of the phytochemicals in finished products, exogenous components in botanical dietary supplements. So it gives me a great pride and immense the pleasure to be a part of the Krishna University, the fraternity, in the role of a Vice Chancellor. I consider that the students are fortunate to get the education under the mentorship of the worthy teachers at Krishna University, where the curriculum is regularly upgraded to meet the challenges of the 21st century, while enriching the student learning experience through the student-centric teaching methods. The university has been imparting the quality education through outcome and value-based education system supported by the component and learned faculty members who regularly update their knowledge through the participation in a national and international the conferences, seminars and workshops, etc. In today's one-day international webinar on quality and safety of the phytochemicals in finished products, exogenous components in botanical dietary supplements, one can gain a vast knowledge in various the areas of chemistry. This webinar has brought over the nearly the 600 participants across the globe to interact and share the research and the different areas of chemistry and enable the young minds to have interactions and inspirations from eminent scientists. This webinar is very much useful for the postgraduate students as it ignites their young minds towards the research. It will help to research scholars with their research by giving them a variety of ideas on interaction with the members, also enhances the knowledge of the faculty members. So coming to the lecture, the phytochemicals have been the component of man's diet for millennia and are believed to have played a significant role in steering the functional development of xenobiotic metabolizing enzymes and transporters within the human gastrointestinal tract. In today's global economy, the opportunity for exposure to more exotic the phytochemicals is the significantly enhanced. The formulated as the concentrated phytochemicals extracts, botanical dietary supplements are the vehicles for a host of the plant secondary metabolites rarely encountered in the normal diet. In addition to this, we will get a comprehensive the description on the phytochemical and botanical dietary supplements through the today's resource person, Dr. Amar Gopal Chittiboina in his renowned talk. So all of you know, by knowingly or unknowingly, so we are daily taking this the phytochemical, the medicines in our food. As a, for example, by taking a sambar and taking some spicy the curries and all these contains a dietary medicines from phytochemical the resources. So India is the greatly the achieved phytochemical the medicines in a various the fields. So I request to all the participants to utilize the today's session provided by the Department of Chemistry, and I am feeling very much proud to associate myself with you in this webinar. Before I finish, I am confident that the Krishna University will produce excellent scientists, technocrats, visionary leaders, the competent researchers and teachers in the field of science, engineering, pharmacy and management studies, who will not only bring laurels to the university but also make the nation proud. I wish the Department of Chemistry to get great success today for conducting the such type of international webinars. All the best. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words and unbatted support throughout. And he's doing exemplary work towards the development of the university. Now, this is the time to introduce our resource person, Dr. Chittiboina. Ms. Pratyusha will introduce the resource person.
Good morning to one and all. It is with pleasure that I introduce our resource person for today's webinar, Dr. Amarji Chittiboina. Dr. Chittiboina received his PhD degree from the National Chemical Laboratory, Pune, India, followed by the postdoctoral training at the Department of Medicinal Chemistry, University of Mississippi. He currently holds an appointment as Assistant Director and Principal Scientist at National Center for National Product Research, University of Mississippi. He has a broad background in organic chemistry with specific training and expertise in medicinal chemistry, natural products, and analytical chemistry. His group collaborates with many interdisciplinary researchers probing at the unique properties of phytochemicals that are part of various matrices and make modifications to improve detection limits, specificity, or test important biological principles. He is a holder of several national and international patents and has authored over 150 peer-reviewed publications in journals. Dr. Chittiboina is a member of American Chemical Society, Sigma Psi, the Scientific Research Society, American Association for the Advancement of Science, American Society of Pharmacognosy, and Society of Toxicology, and serves as editorial board member for journals Current Chinese Science and Current Traditional Medicine. His research interests include biogenesis of secondary metabolites, development of synthetic methods for commercial viability, safer and greener ways to produce natural products in gram quantities, synthesis and structure activity relationships, implementation of orthogonal methods for the quality assessment of phytochemicals in various matrices, development of non-animal alternative methods in dermatotoxicology, application of computational tools to address the adverse effects such as potential herb and herb-drug interactions associated with phytochemicals. Thank you.
Sir Amar sir, you may proceed.
Yeah, so let me try to share my screen. Let me try that. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir. It is visible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Pratyusha, for that introduction. And before I go into a technical and non-technical of natural products, how complex these natural products are, and how a chemistry student can learn from this natural product complexity. Again, as Pratyusha mentioned, my PhD background is in organic chemistry. I got into chemistry just because of one of the college lecturer, Dettakavi Venkateswara Rao. He's the one who is the motivation for me to get into the chemistry. That was in my +2 intermediate. But anyways, before I go into details, I just wanted to thank Vice Chancellor Chandrasekhar, Principal Surya Chandra Rao garu, Registrar Sundar Krishna garu. Sundar Krishna garu మీరు యాక్చువల్గా నా టాక్లోంచి కొంత ఆల్రెడీ హైజాక్ చేసేసారు. బట్ నేను మీకు సరిపడా న్యాచురల్ ప్రొడక్ట్ గురించి చెప్తాను అనుకుంటున్నాను. అలాగే హెడ్ కెమిస్ట్రీ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ హెడ్ డాక్టర్ రామశేఖర్ రెడ్డి గారు, ఫైనల్గా సీతాలు అండ్ రవి, మీ కోఆపరేషన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. So before I go into this, let me talk about quality and safety of phytochemicals. Why do I need to worry about quality, and what is the importance of the safety? Often what we think is natural means is safe. But end of my talk, I think you will understand or you appreciate, that not all natural products are safe. Not all natural products are good for human health. So during my talk, what I will try to do is I will give you different examples. Okay, and feel free to stop me. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. So with my background, I think as Pratyusha already mentioned, I don't have to re-emphasize, but I'm a native of Machilipatnam. And when Sitalu reached me, actually, I was very delighted, very, very delighted to know that even though now my time is midnight, 12:30, but I was very eager, willing to talk to each one of you. And in fact, if I can influence some of the young upcoming budding students to get into chemistry, organic chemistry, medicinal chemistry, and in general chemistry, I think that's a good achievement. And even if I miss a sleep for one night, that's totally fine with me. So again, I have a 20+ years of experience in natural products, on medicinal chemistry and organic chemistry. I was started with a total synthesis. All my PhD was all about 30, 40 different steps of synthesis to get a one molecule. But eventually I got into natural products, and then I do apply all my organic chemistry knowledge in understanding problems associated with the natural product. Here, I hope I can play this video. Let me see. So I am located in southern part of Mississippi, southern part of USA, in between Louisiana and Alabama. And those who are not aware of it, it's the southmost of the southeast of USA. Let me play, and let me take you virtually to my institute. And we are top northeast part of the USA. And it's a beautiful campus, actually, that in a lot of people think it's Mississippi, one of the backward state in USA. But in fact, we are a top 5 institute in the whole US, especially the School of Pharmacy. And our success actually derived by the research we do at an NCNPR, and our annual operating budget is $10 million per year. When I took this assistant directorship, along with my guru director, Dr. Ikhlas Khan, he's also happened to be an Indian, we were able to take it to the $20 million per year as an annual operating budget. The other one, I wanted to give you a glimpse of what else goes in CNPR. And I hope we can follow some of the campus pictures. I don't know how many people were able to follow that video, but just to give you a glimpse, what goes in NCNPR, that's what I was trying to play that video. In fact, last year we were identified as the topmost doctoral research universities in the US. It's a very rare, only few institutes or universities get this categorization, and Carnegie classification is the one of the top-notch one can actually achieve. So under National Center for Natural Product Research, we are close to 120 people or so solely dependent on soft money. In other words, we don't have any teaching responsibility, but we do have a graduate students and undergraduates and visiting scientists. Often we actually get a lot more Fulbright scholars, postdoctoral associates. They all went into different countries, leading different research organizations. In fact, through my last 20 years or so, I think close to 380 people or so were postgraduate in NCNPR, and they're all leading into either Starbucks or leading research institutes in India, China, and everywhere else in the several parts of the country, including Africa and South America. Again, we have close to 33 PhD research scholars, and to support them, around 44 or 45 of them are technical and administrative staff. Also, same time, the same institute, we also host USDA, United States Department of Agriculture Research Scientists. The idea here is to have a collaborative research. In fact, even though they are a federal agency, NCNPR and USDA work together to see whether the natural products can be utilized for human health and agriculture purposes. So again, what we have is two main themes. One is drug discovery and development, where we try to isolate a compound from a botanical or a plant. As Dr. Sundar Krishna mentioned, that yogurt is good for some certain bacteria loading and gut microbiome function. Same time, we also work on a medicinal plant research. What we do is we wanted to show Mississippi or this part of the US that there are other plants elsewhere in the world can be cropped as an alternative crop so that we can economically motivate the local farmers and all that. The third one is the botanical extracts for human health, whether they improve a particular disease or symptom. So here you see two different wings. The right-hand side is the east wing, we call, that is close to 100,000 square feet of research space. The left-hand side is that newly renovated. Yeah, it's not newly, it's almost 4 years now. We have almost close to 54,000 square footage of research space. So total, we're talking about 150,000 square footage only dedicated for research. Idea here is to have an expanded botanical repository. So in that repository, we collect plants from all over the world. And in fact, we collaborate with many botanists, taxonomists, researchers to exchange this plant material so that the problem, a research problem, can be addressed effectively. Then we do also have a clinical facility that if your plant is good for a certain health condition, what we are doing is we actually enroll 10 to 20 healthy volunteers. So to administer the botanical and see whether the pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic properties of the botanical can be analyzed. This is another aspect of our NCNPR is we have our own small medicinal plant garden. Idea here is to have a reference material. When you have a reference material, it's easy to compare what plant is actually contained what kind of chemicals. Is it a true plant or is it something adulterated with some other botanical? Again, this botanical, I think we have close to 500 plants, medicinal plants. And the beauty of this one is we also have, it's mostly rain harvested water. So we collect all the water, recirculate it, and use it for garden purpose. Again, the repository on your right-hand side, you see that all the samples have a QR code and geographical location, when was collected. So we have close to 50,000 samples collected so far, coming from almost every continent. In fact, there are other researchers in our unit. They also look at the plant microbes, microbiome, marine organisms, and how those chemical composition can vary or affect ecological issues. We have a MME, St. Jude, which is very close to us, and then we have several grants, ongoing grants with NIH, especially with the National Cancer Institute, where they are very much interested in these botanicals to screen whether any of the botanical can be developed as an anti-cancer formulation. Main butter for main food source is our for NCNPR is FDA. It is also a well-known institute called Center for Excellence. In fact, we are the only center of excellence looking at the botanical and looking at their quality and safety. So what we do is we in fact train, as I mentioned in my video, several US FDA inspectors to see what kind of attributes they need to look if they are inspecting a GMP facility or a quality control of a botanical dietary supplement raw ingredient. At the same time, we also organize a conference, International Conference on Science and Botanicals. It's been going on for the last 20 years or so. Because of the pandemic, last year we could not do it. And this year also we maybe have to postpone the way the COVID cases are actually upsurging again. But overall, I can tell you that we were started with 30 or so scientists attending this conference or workshop. But now we've grown up to 500 researchers, mostly international. They all come, they all talk about how these botanicals can be utilized for the human health and humankind. With that by background, and I wanted to ask all the students, see these are the beautiful picture, right? You see one side is curcumin, turmeric, other side you see orange juice, bottom milk, and then fourth one is honey. Can you all guess what is common in all these four? The common is, again, I don't want to talk, Dr. Sundar Krishna mentioned about the benefits of this one, but here I wanted to tell you, right in front of your eyes, there is an adulteration issue, okay? Example, I will talk about milk. Milk can be adulterated, if they dilute with water, no issue. But what if I tell you that the milk is adulterated with ammonium sulfate? In order to meet the, what is that called, lactometer, the density, what they're doing is they add oil, surfactant, and sodium sulfate, or ammonium sulfate. It gives you the same feeling. You cannot differentiate by looking at normal milk from adulterated milk. Okay, in that scenario, all the students think about it. How do I use, or what kind of knowledge I can apply so that I can differentiate regular milk from adulterated milk? Honey example. Yes, it's a wonderful natural source, and it is very geographic region in the sense that the honey produced in Andhra Pradesh, it may not be the same exactly taste-wise the honey produced in Uttar Pradesh, because of the pollination, bees, and botanicals around those bees. But in order to make money or make the economic advantage, what people are doing is they put a sugarcane juice in it or sugarcane concentrate on it. Or is it adulterated honey? Same thing with orange juice. There are concentrates, no concentrates, diluted with water, diluted with the sugar juice, sugar and whatnot. So how do I go out of, once I graduate from, as a MSc chemistry background guy, you need to think, you need to give up both sides of the coin. Yes, it's a natural product. Is it really 100% natural? If it is not, what do I need to apply? And how do I need to figure out? Example, turmeric, right? How do you tell real turmeric from adulterated turmeric? You just take a pinch, take a glass of water, you drop it. If the turmeric added a color, into wheat flour, what is that called, godam pindi, or maize, and they put a dye, a Sudan dye, and it looks like exactly like a turmeric, but it is not real turmeric. So if you drop it in a pinch of them in a glass of water, if it is floating, you better go look for the quality of a turmeric where you bought it from. That's not only the case. You look at all the spices. India is a wonderful country where we are the only one who use a lot of spices and a lot of, someone was mentioning about, the spicy food we eat, sambar we take. All these are part of the sambar. All these are part of our culinary. But if they are all good people, they're all wonderful people, and they do follow sincerely, then we should not have any adulteration issue. But the reality is not the case. For example, I will tell you about black pepper. Okay, black pepper is mostly British were actually even one of the reasons to come to India is to get the black pepper, especially the black pepper coming from Kerala is a very good value to it, and they realized it somehow they need to get this black pepper away from India. Right? So then there are globalization and whatnot. China produces it, Brazil produces it, Vietnam, Indonesia, they all produce it. But are they all same? Are they different? But they are different. So in order to avoid, let's say, example, Chinese version of black pepper, what they're doing is nobody wants to import a product from China. Okay, so since they are not able to sell, what they're doing is actually they're selling it to India, and India is exporting to different countries. And we are the people here looking at this black pepper. We know it came from China or we came from India, but it looks like a Chinese black pepper because we have these analytical tools where we can actually take it apart, each and every molecule in the black pepper, whether it is volatile, non-volatile. All those chemicals can be analyzed, and then we can actually tell where the geographic location they are originated from. I'll give you one example here, star anise, right? You can recognize this picture, right? Top one is Elysium vera. It's a Chinese star anise. The bottom one is Elysium anisatum, is also known as a Japan star anise. All right. So, do you think both are safe, or do you think they both are good? In fact, the bottom one, anisatum, is highly toxic. And in fact, they use that to kill fish. The whole fish pond can be cleared overnight by putting the Japanese star anise. Okay, but if you look at, superficially, just to give a glance, it's difficult to tell which one is good, which one is not good. But if you have a scanning electron microscopy, if you put it under microscopy, it's easy to tell from their epicarp. They're completely different. Left-hand side is the safer one. The right-hand side was the toxic one. We do have people those work on DNA barcoding. What idea here is if you take a plant and look at their DNA profile, and based on a kilo base pair, you can tell whether it's a verum or anisatum. Another scenario is you can actually run volatile organics using a gas chromatography, and there are peaks responsible for only anisatum. So if you see those peaks in your sample or in your spice mix, that means that star anise is coming from Japan. This is another example we did. It's a cassia cinnamon, right? How many of you know cinnamon stick? There are so many varieties. There are at least, I think, 10 or 12 varieties are there. It's already common and very common. Any market you go to, especially in the US, they are coming from different countries. One of the concerns we have was coumarin. It looks very simple molecule. See the number one. But the coumarin is used as a blood thinner. Okay, if somebody is a hypertensive patient and they are taking, let's say, blood thinner, at the same time, if they take coumarin, or not coumarin, cinnamon, they are increasing coumarin content. That means their blood thinning capability actually doubled or tripled, depending on how much cinnamon they actually take. But poor innocent consumer don't know that cinnamon contains coumarin, which is a blood thinner. So we had to get plants from Indonesia, Malaysia, all Southeast countries, including China, India, Sri Lanka. The true cinnamon comes from Sri Lanka, okay? And what we had to do is we had to come up with an LC-MS method in which we can actually identify this coumarin. And then once we have an analytical method, we apply it onto different botanicals, see whether we can differentiate based on their coumarin content. So this is how we found, verum, that is cinnamon verum is a true cinnamon, where we don't actually see a lot of coumarin in it. It's very negligible amount. But whereas the coming from Burmani or Indonesian one, they do have a lot of cinnamon. And S32, S44 are the samples we bought in US in the convenience store. And what we found is that pretty much every sample we bought in US, they have coumarin inside. That means I can tell you that because of the economic factors, because of the money issues, a lot of the Burmani variety was imported to US. As a result, all these samples contain coumarin. And we didn't stop that one. So we ended up getting all kinds of these treats. The very famous here is a cinnamon flavor food, whether it is a cereal or is a jam or whatever you call. We analyzed all of these. And what we found is basically they're all coming from the Indonesian variety. So we had to make sure to inform FDA that some of these products not coming from a true cinnamon, but they are coming from cinnamon which is imported from Indonesia. Again, as a consumer, what you have to realize, you have to know that there are toxic chemicals also present in natural products. And in fact, Wall Street Journal picked up our article, and there were several people who were very much interested in this research. This is one of the paper I just wanted to give you your attention. See that cinnamon is not cinnamon. Not every cinnamon is the same. Third example is a different technique. We used a proton NMR, and in fact, aloe vera. All of you are aware of this aloe vera. Aloe vera juice is sold as a drink or a topical cream, or you name it. What happens here is that there are people that want to make money or increase the volume. What they do is they put a maltodextrose in this, or maltodextrin. When you combine these two, it's impossible to tell what is real aloe vera, what is maltodextrin. But when you take an NMR, you get a NMR fingerprint. Based on fingerprint, based on malic acid, glucose, malic acid, acetic acid, and lactic acid, you can tell, oh yeah, this is coming from aloe gel, not from the maltodextrin, which is on your right-hand side. Okay, why do I need to worry about all these things? Okay, remember, consumer is very innocent. They want to save money so that they can buy cheaper product. On the other side, people want to make money and they don't care what actually happens to the consumer. There are cases here, that whether it's a high blood pressure, unknowingly that you develop allergy. Now there are a lot more cancer activities actually going up. And in fact, the pollution, adulteration, and some of these are very, very important factors one has to consider. There are some cases where people take a botanical or Ayurveda medicine and their kidney is failed or compromised, and absolutely no idea what causes this kidney failure or chronic nephritis, because we tend to believe that natural products are safe. We tend to believe that we just take it without knowing what is inside in it. This is one of the examples. I don't know how many of you can recognize this picture. Anybody can say this picture about? This picture is about Anandaya. Anandaya, yes. talking about giving a COVID botanical mixture, right? Again, I'm not here to argue or say one is good or not good, but what he's saying is if you take a 5 herbals, you mix them, and he has a medicine which can cure COVID. Again, I don't want to take one side or other side, okay? But I wanted to give you my opinion, how as a student, you need to analyze these things. Example, you take a ginger, right? Ginger is used for centuries, whether it is anti-inflammatory or just to remove your morning sickness. If you have indigestion, your mom gives you this ginger and say, yeah, you just digest, eat it, and everything will be fine. Sometimes cough, cold, and sore throat, we actually take a ginger infused trees. And in fact, nausea, seasickness, reduce your cholesterol. We make ginger as one of the product in our diet. Right? But I'm going to ask you this. Okay, these are, you see, from A to L. They're all ginger, but they are not exactly the same. Their chemical composition is not the same. In fact, they're all grown in northeast India, Meghalaya, Assam, Sikkim, and all that, but they're all different. Their chemical composition is different. Do you all know that there are more than 50 different varieties of ginger exist? So if Anandaya is talking about use alum or ginger, which one are you talking about? Does it actually work only the ginger grown in Krishnapatnam? Or does it actually, any ginger anywhere in India works in this treatment? Nobody knows about it, right? So example I'll give you, China ginger versus Bangladeshi ginger, okay? This is some GC mass spec. You look at one compound called camphene, which is monoterpene. In China, ginger is only 5.9%, whereas if you go to Bangladesh, it is 20%. Okay, so let's say you take one tablet coming from China, and Bangladesh, you have almost 1/4 only needed for the same purpose if you want only 5% of the camphene. Okay, so how do I control these natural variabilities because of the environmental factors, all those things? They actually influence what kind of chemicals do you produce in a given botanical, a given spice. Again, gingerberrin is one of the case here. In Chinese version, you have a 38% of the gingerberrin, but if you go to Bangladesh, you have only 26%. So all these things, they do play a significant role. Their biology, their impact, their treatment in any given symptoms. Okay, so this is how one has to develop the critical thinking. You start questioning: are they similar? If they're similar, why they're similar? What kind of evidence do we have? If they are not similar, who is responsible? Why they are not dissimilar? Why they are dissimilar? And again, I'm coming back to COVID and on that prophylactic medicine distribution camp, and people are recommending, because I understand, or we all understand the situation with COVID and the sensitivity of the COVID situation, that lack of medicine, lack of treatment forced everybody to go look for alternate avenues. And this is the one other question here, which came in the science article, that they are referring this Ayurvedic medicine to treat COVID. Okay. Again, I'm not arguing whether it's going to work or not going to work, but what I wanted to tell you is, do we have any quality assurance on this? Do we know the one they gave you today is exactly the same thing tomorrow they are giving? Remember that if you recall all the plants, if you change a plant, you change the chemistry. If you change the chemistry, their biology is changed. Okay? If that is the case, how do I assure that day to day, batch to batch, they are exactly the same? So that part I haven't seen anywhere. Okay? Can we reproduce any of this data? No idea. Do you have any safety concerns? Nobody knows about it. Okay? So these are the things one has to realize. Okay? Botanicals, herbals, natural products, wonderful thing to have. But having control parameters is very, very, very important. Okay? Now I'm going to give you another story. That story is supplement, especially the western side of the hemisphere, where they realized that Asian countries or traditional medicine, they do use a different plant part to treat as a different symptoms, whether it's a Chinese medicine or Indian Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and whatnot. So what these guys did, oh yeah, instead of me going there, if somebody can give me a botanical, I can grind them, make a pill, and I can use it for whatever the symptoms they're playing for. Okay, so what is that? So we call that as a dietary supplement. So dietary supplement is based on this congressional definition that you take a botanical extract and you can convert it into pill, and then use it as a capsule or tablet liquid for a given purpose. Whether you want to lose weight, increase body mass, or you run faster, all these are actually sold as a dietary supplement, and it's not that regulated as a pharmaceuticals, but it is a self-regulated industry. And you think may not be enough market here. $50 billion market only for dietary supplements. Sitalu, you want me to continue, or you want me to give a break for some time? Hello?
Amma, your screen on చేశారు, please close it. Window close it. Krishna Mohan, please close the window. Sir, sorry for the interruption, sir. Please.
Okay, this is okay. Can I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
Anybody has any issues or questions or concerns? You want to go clarify a little bit? Okay, I will continue on this then. So what is the dietary supplement, or what are we talking about here? Okay, so dietary supplements, basically pretty much everybody, almost 70% of people in US, they take some kind of supplement daily basis. Okay, and that especially those who are 50 or above 50, they tend to take this dietary supplement as an alternative medicine in addition to whatever the pharmaceuticals they're actually taking. Right? And the main emphasis I wanted to tell you here is focus on herbals and botanicals. The topmost one is a green tea. Okay, the green tea is actually integral part of many people lifestyle, especially to lose weight, because in fact they were saying you can eat as much as you want, but then you take a green tea, then you lose weight. Okay, it's too unrealistic, but they were able to market it. They're able to reach out to this population. So one of the big factor here is herbals and botanicals, and the next one is a sports nutrition, where these amino acids or the whey protein and all these drinks are actually sold for athletes so that you can have an advantage on certain products. So why do they take? Because they wanted to fill a nutritional gap or boost their immunity, especially after COVID. That percentage actually went more than 23%. Then people believe that taking a natural product can reduce the risk of illness and maintain a happy, healthy lifestyle. And in fact, as I said, you don't need to go to a doctor. You just go to Google and you search whatever you are interested in, and you have a product online. You just buy it and use it. You don't even tell your physician. Okay, it's very rare that a doctor prescribes, but they do prescribe. There are some natural products. They are very helpful, useful for day-to-day life. So I'm going to give you 2 stories of this dietary supplement. Right, it's all good. Right, very lucrative. It's a global distribution channels. You can buy any product on the planet because of Amazon or eBay and whatever, you just name it. You can buy any product on the market. And in fact, it was around close to $4 billion in 2004. Right now, we're talking about close to 62 billion as of 2021. There are some MD PhDs from CDC, Center for Disease Control. What they did was They went to 63 different emergency departments in the country between 2004 and 2013. And they had close to 23,000 cases. They visited, analyzed all the 23,000, and they found that this emergency visit, emergency means somebody got sick, they have to go see the doctor, and it is recorded. They're all attributed, they're all associated with somebody is taking a weight loss product or energy product. Think about it here. People want to lose weight, but they're ended up in emergency. Okay? So one side is good, wonderful, a lot of money. Other side, problems, you end up with emergency. So what they found is they have some synthetics or designer drugs or never tested a botanical in the supplement. Okay? And I just wanted to let you know that not everybody is a bad player. Okay? Majority of them are good player. They sell what they're telling to sell. But there are people, they make money or want to make money. In that case, they actually have some synthetics in place so that you get some advantage versus the competing price or competing product. So this is where I bring in exogenous compound in dietary supplement. Exogenous means foreign. Foreign means they're not part of their actual extract, actual plant, but somebody's adding additional to that extract is called exogenous material. Now, if they say natural, or is it a man-made, or is it both? How do I figure out? What kind of techniques do I use to figure out is it natural or not natural? What I would try to do is there are cases where sympathomimetic amines in weight loss product, or you can say phenyl amines in supplements, or even anabolic steroids. What these guys are doing is there's a major organic chemistry, underground chemistry. They synthesize the steroidal structure, which nobody has any idea what those structures are, but they're given it to a sports person so that that guy can hit sixes after sixes, or he can run home runs after home runs. Nobody knows why that guy is so powerful. But there is a major market where we call it anabolic steroids or designer drugs, especially in the pre-workout products. What I'll do is I'll give you a couple of examples. Simple molecule is called DMA, dimethylamylamine, 5 carbon, or then 2 methyl groups attached to it. And in fact, this is the 1950s. They were using as a party pill. Was originally developed as a nasal decongestant, especially where nose is blocked. You spray this one and it should open up because it acts on a beta hydrogenate receptor. As a result, you inhale better. But somehow the decongestant product ended up in weight loss product, especially to increase your bodybuilding or improve your performance. All those supplements contain DMAA. And in fact, that is World Anti-Doping Agency prohibited this compound. In other words, if an athlete takes this compound, and if the urine tested comes positive, whatever the medal they won and whatever they achieved, they're all retracted, taken away. But as a normal consumer, as a sports player, they are not aware that DMAA was a synthetic artifact. The story was back in it was 10 years back, I think, 8 years back. Some Chinese paper, a small university in China. What they did is there is a pelargonium plant. They said, we took this plant, we took essential oil, and we did a GC mass spec. In the GC mass spec, they gave you one compound, especially saying that the compound has a DMAA. Okay? So remember here, somebody said it is in pelargonium plant, hence it is a natural product. So because of the natural product, you can put it in any supplement because it's coming from a natural source. But how do we prove that it's natural? So we looked at the peer review article. Basically, it is not peer reviewed. It's a small university communication. In that communication, it's very obscure data. The data is not, being a small molecule, we exactly know what retention time it could be. And in fact, that was not matching with this. Second thing, if a plant produces a chemical, they don't produce only one chemical. They'll have their sisters, brothers, aunt, uncles, everybody related to that compound. That's how the plant produces it. Dr. Chandrasekhar mentioned about, the xenobiotic metabolism and cytochrome P450s and all that. They do also exist in plant. Because of that, these compounds they don't exist as a single compound. So they'll have all these relatives also with them. So based on that theory, we said, this is not real. It cannot be a natural product. And we gave all these questions and we published the paper. Before publishing, so we went and got the plant material, whether it is in our own medicinal plant garden. We bought some oil, essential oils. We developed a GC and LC method. We did not detect any of the DMAA in these plant samples. But remember, the products they're selling, they're saying that is there in that coming from natural source. We took the same plant, we analyzed, we don't find it. So what happened? Court case. They published 2 papers saying that no, our sample contains, your sample don't have. And they said, oh, you know what? The sample only found in China contains this compound, nobody else has it. What do you do? Can I go to China? If I go to China, they're going to give me the same sample? It's not possible. But we are fortunate that we know exactly who is the China collaborator through our network, international network. We went to the same location. We got the same exact plant. And we actually tested in China, India, as well as here to see whether any of these plants contains DMAA. There's no surprise for us. We did not find it. And we said there's no DMAA in the Chinese plant as well. Publish that work, and then they come back and say, no, it's not because of the plant, it is coming from the fertilizer. So this is how the yes and no argument goes between a research lab, and when you do say no, it's difficult to prove no, because it's easy to prove something positive, but it's impossible to prove something negative. In that case, you have to have a network of people, you have to have a right material, you have to have a right technique to see whether what you're saying is right or not right. This is another story, DMBA. It looks like DMA, only one methyl group is removed. It's called aminomethylpentene. They said if the Chinese tea contains this, as a result, it's a natural product. As a result, they put it on all dietary supplements. These all supplements used for pre-workout, bodybuilding, and whatnot. How do I prove again? Same story. So we had to go get a different teas, analyze it, publish it, and we did not find, and we said it is coming from a synthetic source because it's a racemic compound. Those who are taking organic chemistry, remember that nature produces most of the time a single enantiomer because of the cytochrome P450s. But when you do it in the lab on a non-asymmetric synthesis, you end up with a mixture of compounds. What we found in the supplement, they're all racemic compounds. They're all coming from a synthetic source. And we said, it's not part of the plant material. It's not part of the Camellia sinensis tea, but it's coming from a synthetic source. Right? Same thing, there's one more compound called DMHA. You just see it. Now there's a trend, add a methyl group here, add an ethyl group there, and you include a new product, sell those products in the market. Again, same problem, same story, GC mass spec, analyzed it. Again, we saw the racemic mixture, and we know it is coming from a synthetic source, not from the natural source. In this case, what is going on is why are they doing all these compounds? Because they know if you put any of the amphetamine, methamphetamine, amphetamine, ephedrine, it's easy to detect. All the doping agencies, regulatory bodies, they know because they have a standard. But if you put the bottom compounds, DMA, DMBA, and all that, they don't have any reference standards. The regulatory agencies, they cannot figure out what is this compound is giving advantage to a given athlete. But there are very intelligent underground chemists. They do produce these compounds. They have the same mechanism of action. They give you same exact effect, but you will not be, caught in any sports or any competition. But also remember, I was telling you about a small university, China, not peer reviewed. You also understand their research side because they are under pressure. You are forcing them to publish a paper, and often because we don't have much of the knowledge, we ignore it. Knowingly or unknowingly, we publish a paper. But other side of the world, especially in the west side, that's all they wanted. They wanted to see some very loose, uh, unauthenticated paper or publication just to prove that it's a natural product. Then they make synthesis in the lab and they put it in a supplement. The supplement is given it to everybody on the planet here. And if they get caught, nobody knows why they got caught, what is the reason for it. So it's taking an advantage of the one system from other system. So these are the three things we see. What is ongoing right now is, somebody wants to have a product. It helps them to lose weight, or a product to improve their, the antidepressant or bronchodilators. Third one is a very innovative products they're including is for the increasing your memory enhancers. And they say it is a natural product. They say it is used in Indian medicine, Indian traditional medicine or Chinese traditional medicine. And what they are saying is, since they are using it, we should be able to use it as a dietary supplement in the US and everywhere else in the Western part. So we were tired, sick of this time by doing one ingredient at a time. So what we did was we took close to 111 amines, different amines, and we developed a single method. The idea here is we don't want to look at a targeted analysis. We wanted to figure out untargeted in the sense that we look at the mass spec, we look at their fragmentation pattern, and we can tell what kind of amine present in a given product. As a result, we can tell, yeah, this product is contaminated with this, whatnot, everything else in this. Again, we published that work, and it is actually freely accessible, this data. So anybody is interested in mass spec of these amines, they can go to University of Mississippi Library Services, and they'll be able to download it. But I want to tell you one secret in this one. We do track who is downloading this data. Okay. As a result, I can expect a company working in Poland or a company working in South Korea. They are very much interested in these supplement products. Okay. And if they produce a product, it's most likely some of these amines are part of their product. So we do track that information, and we do know who's downloading, who's uploading, and whatnot in this. Another method we are developing is phenyl amine. Simple. It's an aromatic ring to carbon and amine, but they are very related to amphetamine, methamphetamine, and whatnot. Highly hallucinogenic, highly dependent. What we did was, my Chinese colleague, we developed an NMR technique. So you look at the proton of the different products, and then based on proton, remember here is one is called alpha hydroxylaxogenin, other one is called laxogenin. Okay. So with organic chemistry, what I did was we were able to synthesize all these analogs. And what we found in this supplement, they actually have no laxogenin in, but they do have a diazogenin or delta 4 diazogenin. Another set of compound, what we found is hydroxylaxogenin. At the same time, we also found all those green dots. What does it mean? That means somebody is taking a diazogenin, they're doing epoxidation, open the epoxide, make a hydroxy, oxidize it, to make alpha hydroxylaxogenin. What they're not realizing is they're actually leaving their trail behind. They're leaving all those impurities as a part of the sample. Because of that, we were able to tell it's not coming from the natural source. It is somebody synthesizing in China, and they're not cleaning their raw material properly. As a result, you have all these impurities in their samples. Okay, that's how we do this complex research. Okay, now you may be wondering, in order to do this research, I have to go to US or somewhere else. No, you don't have to. Actually, look at this one. This is, I'm sure a lot of you are aware of this one, CSRISCT, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology. There's a wonderful division actually in this. It's a Center of Natural Products and Traditional Knowledge. They do a lot of wonderful chemistry there. One of my close friends, actually, Suresh Babu, has done tremendous work in natural products. They do understand the complexity. They do understand what it takes you to figure out what plant is used, why they are used, are they consistent, are they different. You don't have to go to far away like me, but in fact, there are places, there are institutes around India, they look at the natural products, they understand the complexity of the natural products. Again, all natural products are not safe, and be aware, be mindful, see how do I figure out if there is a product which is cheaper source, can I use a technique? Can I use some kind of qualitative method to tell whether that is synthetic, is it adulterated, non-adulterated, and whatnot? Okay. In the end, I just wanted to tell you all that young folks, those who are trying to get their master's in chemistry, the only one reason I will tell you, be a difference maker. Okay. Why do I need to be a difference maker? You can be called as Amar or somebody else. One thing you want to make establish in your career that you remember your name.
Sorry, sir.
And this is my team at NCNPR. This is right in front of our medicinal plant garden. I was telling you that's close to 100 people, but these are all only the scientists. Again, just wanted to thank you all, the students, everybody, especially the platform given to me share my research here. And last but not the least, the sponsors and Sitalu and all this opportunities to give me talk about the type of research we do at NCNPR. With that, I think I'm done with my talk. Can I stop sharing?
Yes, sir. Right.
Thank you very much, sir. That was highly educational and informative session by Dr. Chittiboyna. Thank you very much. Dear participants, we shall have a quick interaction session now to address any questions you might have for our resource person. You can type your questions in the chat box so I can moderate you. You can make use of the raise of hand option in your screens. Any queries regarding the phytochemicals in finished products and exogenous components in botanical dietary supplements? Dear participants, please. Okay. If anybody, no, the time is very less because in USA, I think it was 12 midnight.
No, it's a 1:15 a.m.
1:15. No. Let us conclude this. Okay. Thank you all who participated. If any one of you have any further questions on today's webinar, Chittiboyna can be contacted through email. Okay. And now, Mr. G. Ravi will propose the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Good afternoon to all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Let me introduce myself, Ravi, Assistant Professor, Ad hoc Department of Chemistry, Krishna University. It's a great honor and privilege to stand before you to extend these words of gratitude and this international webinar. If there is a gratitude in our heart, then there will be a tremendous sweetness in our eyes. Let me first of all, thanks to Almighty, the Creator, from the bottom of my heart for making today's webinar a most successful event. For this, we are so beautiful beautified and thankful to God. I extended a very heartfelt thanks to distinguished personality, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor K. B. Chandrasekhara Garu. Once again, thank you, sir, for giving permission to conduct this webinar in our chemistry department. I would further extend it the hearty thanks to Dr. Amar G. Sitboina, sir, stressed and talked about inventive new strategies to overcome challenges, which is very much required in the present days of pandemic situation. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for his spared precious time from his schedule. I would like to thank our respected registrar, Professor Y.K. Sundar Krishna Garu. Once again, thank you for giving cooperation. I would like to thank to our beloved principal, Professor D. Surchandra Garu, University College of Arts and Science. And also, I would like thanks to friendly head, Department of Chemistry, calm-going person, systematic person, and backbone of the department. He is none other than Dr. D. Ramasekhar Reddy Garu for your cooperation to make success of this webinar. My deep sense of thanks and appreciation goes to all participants who are live with us and attended this webinar. Last but not least, let me thank to Mr. Naresh, Research Scholar, Dr. Krishna Mohan Garu, Assistant Professor ad hoc Computer Science, and Parth, student of Organic Chemistry, for their technical support. Thanks to all first and final year chemistry students for their support to publicity of this webinar. And finally, thanks to Setal Garu, convener of this webinar, to make success and his effort. In the end, thank you to all for being with us today. Have a nice, wonderful day ahead. Thank you, sir. We'll meet again.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. This webinar ended with our national anthem, Janaganamana. That concludes our webinar today. Thank you very much for making it a success, grand success. Thank you, Amar sir. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Sitalu. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ramarji. Thank you very much for your sparing valuable time with us. We
Thank
will
you.
meet some other time, sir. We will speak some other time.
Definitely.
We will interact personally. Thank you so much. So kind of you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Actually, in fact, I was telling you, I was very, very happy to know that
Yes,
somebody from Machilipatnam reached me, and even though I left Machilipatnam almost 30 years back,
oh my God.
so it was very, very delighted that you're giving me that opportunity.
Sir, whenever you have time, when you have visited India, please you can make a slot for us. At least you can interact with our students. It may be more helpful for us directly to the students if your interaction is happens in future.
Yeah, definitely. I come often, almost every year actually come. But when I come, so I don't actually go anywhere. I just stay with mom and dad and stay inside and eat mom's food.
Oh, great, sir. Great, sir.
So, but I will definitely let's meet. Happy to meet.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So kind of you.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir. Good.